Hello and welcome everybody, and welcome to Yvonne's Seaside Cottage. As promised, I am going to show you my field notes, Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Field Notes Volume 6. That's a mouthful, isn't it? So I thought I'd do a quick flip through, and at the end of the video I just have a small bits and pieces that I picked up after having a lovely lunch with my dad today. So front cover, field notes. This is actually, the words are actually cut out of, I think they were a Tim Holtz, where you die cut, and I cut them out of material and then put them on there and then just stitched all the little beads. This is a photo album. With this volume, it was meant to be a concertina file, but I couldn't get my head around it. So I had this old photo album, and I thought, oh look, I'll just use that, because I just couldn't work it out. But anyway, so I've decorated it all down here, done a little toggle, put some beads on it, had so much fun with this. It was a great project to do. So that's the front page. Then over here is you had to have a title page. So that's Field Notes 2024. I couldn't do Yvonne, so I did Eve. And oftentimes if I go to coffee, they'll ask me my name. And if you say Yvonne, they say, can you spell it? I say, oh, just put Eve. So that's what I do. It's just one of those names. Yeah, so that's a little fun page. It's more of a, this is a piece of fabric and a bit of lace. And I found with this project you can combine your paper and lace and stitch, which is a really interesting thing. So the first prompt was spring. So this was my spring title page, and this was a piece of Yupo paper that I had dyed, and I've stitched in around it, which I didn't realize you could stitch Yupo paper, but it actually stitches really well. And I just ink dyed it and then collaged over the top and painted it. Did a few little other things on there, so that came out really well. So I was quite pleased to incorporate some of my other art pieces in this journal, which was, just really good. So the next prompt was the first prompt, sorry, was spring bulbs. And these little papers that were on the side of the photo album actually lended really well to sketching on. So I sketched a little spring bulb and the tulip flower, and yeah, so that was fun to do. And this is my tulips. Now this is all stitched, and of course my very favourite dragonfly. You have to have a dragonfly and another little dragonfly there. All little beads. I was into the stage where I loved playing with the beads. And I got a piece of cloth and some Mod Podge and put a napkin on it, and then attach that to the piece of fabric, and when it was dry you could stitch into it. So that was a nice learning curve as well. So that came out really pretty. I'm quite happy with that. Yes, excuse my washing machine. And then the next spring prompt was a nest. So here's my little nest here, and in Australia we have the most gorgeous birds, and I really love these little fairy wrens. So I've got Birdie there, which is I think that was a Tim Holtz piece of paper, and I've just put it on that Mod Podged on there quite well, and just sewed the little nest. And oh dear, the washing machine is going to make a noise now. Great. Stitched it all, so much fun. I did a border. And this is a watercolour I'd done some time ago of some little wrens. Oh gosh, I hope that washing machine isn't too loud. Not much I can do. So I just wrote a little poem. Fledgling birdie. I see you, birdie, fledgling boldly, balanced, fluttering, flying to a new life. Mama birdie, always near to cheer you on. So yeah, just a little something to write in there. That's all stitched on, and that was a watercolour that I did some time ago. Now this page was wild fields. So that's, I found some ribbon on Etsy. I thought, oh, I'm going to give some ribbon embroidery a bit of a go. So that's what I did. So yeah, a bit of a doily there, and had a bit of fun with that. And then another little poem, Goldie in the Springtime. That washing machine, you wouldn't read that it would do that, would you? If a favourite child to pick, spring would do the trick. Purple veil, turning blue, fragrance crisp, jacaranda hailing, an evening gown, picked with violet hue. Bright burning a flame tree in red attire invites the king of parrots to dine. A tailed emperor in pencil blue are invited too. Spring on the Goldie, we love you. Yeah, just for something to put on that page, something to write. And there's it was the Paris Olympics at the time, so I couldn't help myself. I had to put the Eiffel Tower in there and did all this stitching, and I think the background is a bit of bark cloth, and I just stitched into it. Yeah, it was supposed to be Wild Fields, I think, that one. Those 2 pages. Now this I've just popped in here. I had this lovely watercolour, but really nothing to do with it, and so I just turned it into the field notes, put a little birdie there, stitched that on, stitched some frame around it, and bit of zigzag, and had some fun with it for the title page for summer. So we're into summer now, and there's another little, I just use these little pages with so much fun. These are little rub-ons. Underneath is just a piece of paper that I had to make it interesting. And another little sweet poem, Sweet Summer Days. To our toes the sand is warm, the waves a gentle sway, to rock our bodies back and forth, invigorating our day. The surface sparkling indigo, reflecting a sunny smile. Whales calves aside, fins raised in fond farewell, heading south a while, with a play of spray along the way, heading home in style. Wildflowers in a bouquet gathered, aside a vessel's still life, of sweet fruits portrayed, to a pathway on a summer's day. There you go, just a little bit of something. Hope you're not too bored with this. And this is another little Yupu one. We went up on to the Barrier Reef in summer, so I just stitched into that, did some ink on there, some little fish, just to remind me of the Barrier Reef. I thought that can go in there, that's a summery thing. What was this one? Butterflies and bugs, this one is. This was so much fun to do. I think this was a bit of a panel that was left over from something I've done before. So I just stitched into it, put a bit of bling on it, Suffolk puff, just enjoyed it. With the specimens and Exhibit A, and these were Tim Holt's rub-ons from his Field Notes collection, which worked out really, really well. And then over here, one of my favourite pages, I love dragonflies. And I don't know if you can see, but I've just finally stitched the wings in gold there, and the rest is all ribbon, just ribbon embroidery. A little beehive. Yeah, so that was winter bugs as well, I think. Oh no, butterflies and bugs. Yeah. And then there's another little, the salty dog one. And then underneath that, which is very bright, is another little watercolour. And I think put some little paws in there. I think I just got some sort of sparkly watercolour paint, and I wanted to try it out and see if it worked for sand. That was the whole idea there. So the salty dogs, Stumpy and Cha-Cha, prints are small, tails held tall, noses wet, lightly step, happiness in bounds, a bouncing ball to the tide has met, the chase is on, waves lap the shore, pups are wet, happy shake of sand, noses touch and friendly greet, home for dream time and a treat. Their energy will restore when paws again meet shore. There's a little poem for you. This was a watercolour I did a while ago and didn't have a home for it. And I used, to get that background, I used a scrunched up piece of, what do you call it, that plastic wrap, and stuck that on the page and then put the dragonfly over the top. And this is summer days. And I think that might have been some little houses that were in a panel. A little umbrella there, some seahorses, a little puppy poking out of the flowers. So I had a bit of fun with that too. Yeah. And this one, when we're coming into autumn now, I think. So these are the autumn cherries. Now, you may think it's a bit strange to have cherries in autumn, but we actually do get cherries in autumn sometimes. And there's a little, we call them ladybugs, and this is all just ribbon embroidery on there. There's a few little other things, yeah, and that's all feathers, all what do you call it, paint stitched or whatever. I'm lost for words, getting my words all muddled up. And then another little poem I've written. I'm probably boring you with my poems. Goldie in autumn. Late is the waking sun, pouring gold on sandy shores. The dawn patrol awaits a break. Air crisp, skies crystal blue, welcome swallows gliding through, on a gentle breeze whispering to the trees. Koala curled, sleepy-eyed, after the splendour of night, now dream world. Blazing heat, stolen, rainforest beautiful, in dew, balmy rock pool swirl. Kick back, rest a while, breathe in the view. There you go. And nothing on that page. I don't know. Now this was mossy woods, and I thought, oh, I'll see if I can make my own paper. So that's what I did. I got a piece of that printable, and I made some of my artwork on the back of it. Did these nice little owls, which are stamped on some, what do you call it, silk. Actually, they're stamped really well on a very light piece of silk. A little mushroom there, hoot. Some mushrooms coming up here. Yeah, so I think they were a Lavinia stamp, but yeah, quite cute. And this one here is an autumn bird, and in Australia we have the red-capped robin, and it is a really pretty autumn colour. This is a bit of bark cloth in the back there, so yeah, had a bit of fun with that. These are just some digitals that I were playing with on Canva, and thought, oh yeah, we can put them, of course we can put them in there just to fill up the pages. This is a little, this is an Australian native. It's called a royal bluebell. There's a little watercolour there with a little frame on it. Now, when we got to the last winter prompt, I did it all at once because it was coming up for Christmas and I'd absolutely run out of time. So the prompt for that was winter berries, winter visitors, and winter flowers. So we've got the winter visitors with the little rabbits and the little birdies. Then we've got the winter flowers with the berries and the trees. Well, they're not really flowers, they're berries and flowers. So yeah, I ended up, got really busy. It was a busy time of year, so I kind of only had time to stitch one thing, not the three. So it's all combined in there. Yeah, and that's just a tea bag actually. And I put a stamp on it of a little elephant and some little lizards, covered up the tea bag, did some little watercolours there, so it's a stained tea bag. And I thought that was quite cute just to pop in there. And I think that's it. Oh, and then the index in the back with a little bee. Yeah, so I think that's the end of that. Yeah, but the other thing, so these are quite worthwhile to, you know, store all your artwork in and all of that. But also in my op shop finds, I found another which is very full. Another photo album. And last year, Vintage Blend, Susanna at Vintage Blend Studio, we did a project with her doing the calendar, of which I have not finished, but it was the very first, and I just wanted to show you this because I'm so proud of it, the very first stitching I ever did, you know, for sort of that type of stitching. And poor Susanna, she sent a lovely pack, and each month you made a calendar piece to go in a calendar roll with a couple of spools. Well, I didn't have any spools and I had hardly any supplies at that stage, and I thought, oh look, I'll just tinker around. So I've just popped them in here, but what I do is every day of the month, and I'll just grab it, it's just over here, I have this little stand and I pop, it stands up like that, and I've just popped a doily in there, and it's got a little plastic frame. Let's see if I can get this one out, because I just love, I mean, look at the back of the stitching, really. I just pop my little calendar there like that, and it's got January on there. You can tell that that's my very first stitching. How I managed to pack all that in there, I have no idea. There's even, it looks like a crab, but that's supposed to be a little surf life-saving hut there. So January, I don't know how I ended. There's actually a little yacht. So yeah, so that's what I do, and it stands up. This thing will probably collapse on me now. Oh no, it'll stand up. And it stands up like that, and I can put each month in it. But the idea was to have it in a roll, but it, you know, I didn't have much funds then and didn't have very many supplies, I have to say. So yeah, I quite like that. That's kind of cute. So that's January. I might as well show you. I've still got 2 to do at the end of the year, just in case anybody else might have been doing this. That was February, and it was hearts. So yeah, follow your heart. It's very blingy. And it does say February there, but my stitching was, well, you know, you've got to start somewhere. And this one I really like. This is March, and it's a little bunny with wings. And this was all in Susanna's pack. I hope, and Susanna's art. I must give kudos. This is Susanna's art as well. So yeah, that all came in the pack. The little artwork for the bunny, and yeah. So I just keep them in this. I think this is mulberry paper, and I found it in an op shop. What a lovely thing. It's all made out of bark. I'm getting sidetracked, you know, as I do. And that's bark. It's just a really nice thing. And that's April. Look at my stitching for April. I just could not get April, but I love all the little, this is one of my favourites, the little beads and the fruit. There's little strawberries there all stitched down. It was so cute. This, you will hardly see him, but hiding in there is a little Bambi. And I didn't have anything much. I thought, oh, I'll put some eyelash, what do you call it? Eyelash thread. I had some of that, and I got it at the knot shop. I've just used little pins there so I can get these out and put them on my calendar. Yeah, so Bambi's poking out of the eyelash stuff there. It really made me use my imagination. Now, this is sideways, so it's a bit of a big. I got a bit braver and a bit bigger as I went on. So that's June, and it's just a little cup and a teapot, which came out pretty good. I just cut the fabric in the shape and stitched the teapot. And this one is the Australian rainbow lorikeet for July, and I think that was a piece of tissue, and I might have Mod Podged it on there. I can't remember how I did that one. Well, isn't that interesting? You know, this is kind of like, you know, when you go and visit the family and they bring out the photo albums. Well, they don't do that anymore, but that's what it was like in the day. Go visit Auntie and she'd bring out the photo albums. And that, I love this one with the little blue wren sitting on the spool. This is Susanna's art. And this was a doily. So I just, or it might have been a tablecloth. I think it was a tablecloth, and just stitched all that in there. Yeah. And the little wren I just stitched him ruggedly around the edge. Now we get to the end of this and I kind of run out of steam. This is September, which is very green. I think September I found very difficult, so I just sort of did what I could. Anyway, that's it. This is October. And the fabric was really, really nice. That's Susanna, and the lovely squirrel, that's Susanna's squirrel. But I just couldn't get the squirrel right. So I mucked it up that much. I had to cut him out of another piece of fabric. So he's bright and it made him a swirly tail. Yeah, so anyway, and so I've got November and December still to do on that. So that's that, yeah. So when I went and had a lovely lunch with Dad today, excuse me, I'm just going to pull my chair in and I'm going to wobble the thing. That's not very good, is it? Never mind. Yeah, so I had a lovely lunch with Dad today and I said to him, oh, where would you, and Dad's 90. I said, oh, where would you like to go, Dad? He said, I would like a vanilla thick shake at McDonald's. And I went, we can do that. And I guess back in the day in the 50s, you know, if you went out somewhere, you had a vanilla thick shake, didn't you? Anyway, this is some of my op shop finds. Now, this is for Miss Ruby. The saggy baggy elephant. It's a golden book. It was 50 cents. It was from the Salvo shop. Yeah, so it's got. I love it that the little golden books have somebody's name in there. Victoria somebody. Yeah, so that was 50 cents, and I found one more too. They're still around, these. They're really quite good to have because you can use them for journals. But yeah, just for fun, Richard Scarry. So I've got a few golden books, but I haven't got those two. So that's a good thing. So they're both from the Salvos. Now these were $4, which is probably a little bit expensive, but oh well, you know. Oh gosh, I should have opened them previously. Never mind. It'll be a surprise when I do get it open. A surprise to me too, because I haven't opened it. So what are they? They're little napkin rings. But, oh, his little head's broken off. That's annoying. Oh, well, hopefully the little head's in there somewhere. The little napkin rings, and there's a fish. Little fishy there. So what will I use it for? Well, if you can, I might actually make a pincushion that goes in the middle of that, so you're poking the pins on either side. The other idea I had for them when I saw them, because I thought, oh, I really like them, but what am I going to do with them? Is I can rest my paintbrush in there. Yeah, so I thought they were just too cute. Too cute. And what else is there? Oh, there's a butterfly, little butterfly, yeah, so you can do that. Or I don't actually have a pincushion here that I can put in there. But yeah, I had a vision for them. And a pussycat, little pussycat. Yeah, so they're a bit nice. What's this one? Oh, that's a frog, a little froggy. And the last one is a little birdie. Yeah. So I will use those. I will find a mission. I'm going to do a series of small videos where I just share just little things that you can make, which could be fun. Put it out the way. Now this, I don't know if you can see, it's got a needle and thread, and this was in the cabinet at Lifeline. And I said to the lady, oh, would you mind getting that out, because I suspected that inside was a surprise. Not too close. And it is a surprise. Look at that. You open it up and it's got a little pair of scissors. What's that? Oh, a little pin thing. Some buttons, measuring tape. It's the cutest little thing, a little pin cushion on the top here. Oh my goodness, there's some thread there. And I think that would be really handy to take away. You know, it's in a little box. How cool is that? And then it just all folds up. Ooh. Oh, and there's little, you know, there's obviously been something else there. Maybe maybe some more thread or something there. Yeah, but you can put something else there. There's thread there. So there would have been something there. Yeah. It's got needles in a little packet. And there you go. It was just cute. And it was $5. Can't quite see what that says on there. I'll just grab my glasses from over here and see if I can magnify it a bit. Oh, Nana. Oh, look. Isn't that perfect? Nana. Oh, well, there you go. It was meant for me. So I had it. There is a big, at Lifeline, there's a big, under the bits and bobs thing, there's a big bucket of material and whatever else. And you've got to really rummage through it, and it's under the desk. Well, they'd cleared the sort of junk, well, not really junk, but craft bits and bobs. They were having a clean out of that. So I put this on top of the thing, the desk there, and these were all at the bottom, at the very bottom. So that was $2, and there's two of them. There's another one here somewhere. It's gone westward. Yeah. Oh, here we go. So two of them, they were $2 each. But they're a nice little thing, and there's a lot of work in them, and they're pretty different colour, and a good size to pop in a needle book. Really good. Lifeline for $2. So I had to really hunt for these, I can tell you. This little one's it's quite badly stained, but that's not going to bother me in the least. Really nice and frayed a bit there too. I like this lace work around the outside because you can put it under a fabric and see it through it. And I'll just put a little something in the middle there, you know. Yeah, so they all need a good wash. That was $1. This is a little set of two, yeah. And just little bits of cut work, yeah. Yeah, but a nice bit of linen there. And how much was that? $1 for those two. Yeah, lots of use out of that still. Very nice. That over there. Yeah, this is a bigger bit. And it was $1, and I thought, oh look, you're coming home with me for $1. Because there's lots of, is it upside down? Yes, that is upside down. Is it? I don't know. No, maybe not. Maybe I did it around the right way. Oh no, I didn't. That's it there. Yeah, the little butterfly and quite a nice pattern. Very nice. I like these little bits, and you can pop them there. And in fact, the linen on this is really nice. So happy with that. That was you should have seen me. It was like a lucky dip. And this one, most unusually, there's $1 as well, it's quite a bit of staining on it, but someone's painted it. And I thought, oh, that's just fun. I just love that. Yeah, they've got their paints out and painted it. Ah, beautiful, I imagine. How much was that one? Oh, $1 as well. It was my lucky day today. And these there are, I don't know, probably hand stitched, probably machine stitched, but that doesn't matter. They're a really nice white. And there are 4 of them, and they were $2. So that's pretty good. Another one of these little ones. This one's actually in a bit better shape than the other one. I quite like that. That's very good. And this little one, that she gave me for 50 cents because there was no price on it. So she said, oh, you can have that for 50 cents. And another little one like that. I quite like these. They're good to stitch into or stitch a little pattern on them. Very good. Now, the other thing I did get, I won't keep you for too much longer. This was a Lifeline one as well. And it's, what is it? It's a Sunshine. Oh, it's a Meakin, made in England. I like Meakin. I like their work. This was $4, so possibly a bit expensive. But I don't know if you can see, but there is a little horse and cart there, which will go with the hazel needle book that I'm making. So she can have her needle book, she'll have this little pin dish, which will be really nice, and then I can pair it up with something I can make a little pin cushion out of that's horsey related. So there you go. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. I thought, oh, there's a little horsey there with kind of the English background. That one was $4. This one was $1.50. And I just thought it was a sweet little dish. It's so sweet. I really did. And on the back, it's been a display plate because you can see where it's been hanging or whatever, and it's got Albalat. So yeah, I don't know where that is, but anyway, it's in good condition. I always run my finger around the edge, make sure there's no chips. But yeah, it was just cute. So that'll go as a little gift. And then, I can never resist a little pin dish. This is Garden Scene, Wagga Wagga, New South Wales. There you go. It needs a good wash. It's very dusty, but yeah. And it's a Royal Stafford bone china, England, $2.97 for $2. So keep your eye out for those. I love them. I love the little pin dishes. And this, I can never go past these. This was at the Salvos, and they were $1.50. I just like these. I love the blue and white. You got the, and I don't have the smaller ones. I do have another couple of these bird feeders, which I must make something out of. I just haven't got round to it. But these little dishes, they really need a good clean, but I really like them. Yeah, so that's the little shop for the day. A lovely day with Dad. So that's all really I've got to show you. People have asked for a little flip through of the books, and there you go. So hooroo, you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. And I hope you are all well and keep well.